We, Akatsuki, will deliver judgment.
Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. This is an anime. Sorry, there's a glitch in the program. But how's it going? Hope you're all having a good night. Thank you for the 20 bits random weather. And hello, Rosie. Hello, Random. Hello, Phoenix. Hello, Bloodsilver. Hello, Reborn. Hello, OP. And hello, Lateral. Hope you're all having a good night, as I already said. That reminds me, while I'm thinking about it, before I forget. Forget what? I don't know. If this is correct. Oh, never mind. Never mind, I forgot. Yeah, sorry, even when I'm not actually here, I'm still able to hear that. So, thank you for the 20 bits, and they are apparently actually working now. So, hooray, Holiday Cheer did not play. Thanks for the host, Lateral. Yes, I forgot that I changed the ruling on it. So, before, when the stream was smaller and there wasn't a constant stream of 10 people, which I cannot thank you guys enough for that. First I'm going to play this so we actually have music in the background. Okay. Actually, you know what? That's a good enough picture. We don't need music. It's okay, OP. If you're tired, you should go. Like, don't let me keep you up. I didn't see that one. That's awkward. Did they name it wrong? Okay, weird. That seems to be on Twitch's end, so. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's a pretty cool tree. Do what you want because a pirate is tree. You are a pirate. Thanks for the 100 bits, Lateral. Happy holidays. I'm glad they name it holidays, but still obviously a Christmas tree. But what I was saying before is that before, the intro thing that plays whenever certain people talk was set to 10 hours, but I moved it up to 100 because we have a lot of people here. Oh my gosh. Stop it.
How dare you be difficult, tree?
Difficult tree. There it goes. Thanks for the 100 bits, OP. Thanks for the 10 bits, Phoenix. We haven't even done anything, guys. I just started. I appreciate it, though. Thank you a lot.
Let's try this again. D.
D. Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Masham who was killed wasn't Drew Masham the forger, basically. Well then, who was he? Well, he was actually me doing your nails. You really made those forgeries? Where if you write the same smiley... Yes, for father. I know it was wrong. Can you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. And then they painted his past. I love painting ever since I was a child. One day father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. This is gonna be the big plot twist that she made the Amy pottery that broke years ago. Anything? Father was so proud, and I so happy. Let me redraw the same picture. But in the end, I was making those. Hello, Sivia. Hope you're having a good night. Forgeries. I've never had a good constitution nor personality. You have personality? I'm joking. It's me. I know very little of the world outside my door. Sorry to hear you're meh. Now because of me, Father is a painting on the ground. Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already creating your works back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. I think they changed it, Sivia. It says 12 years old. So the one who figured out the stamp was poison, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. The courtroom, please. Sorry to interrupt your conversation. Right, out of time. Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. There's 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right, see? We checked them out and we saw what was underneath. Saw the rough sketches underneath 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice, yes? Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. Your late father? Where is he? He's supposed to be here by now. He was watching, gathering information, all about the Wright & Co. law offices. But lately, we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano, kind of. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. We never met this guy. Who was Mr. Masham? How am I supposed to know? What if he was Daddy's daddy? Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Not impossible. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around, that's accurate. As an accurate thought to have, Apollo. We know the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. Number 3. Yes, she is 19. I forgot about this guy. Can smell a scoop a mile away and his teeth shine 3 miles away. You're a daddy, he's a daddy, she's a daddy. Any other daddies I should know about? Meow. What do you mean final try? Oh, got 3 of them in.
Final try.
Thanks for the 10 cupcakes. Court is now back in session. She's biting her thumb. Seems pretty tense. Practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us all how it worked. How did you set up this Drew Masham forger persona? There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one? Ah, yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. Though she was the one who made the forgeries. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I? Regardless, we need a little information. About, for instance, this. How did he steal that from me? I just had it. Trucy just handed it over to her. Or at least showed it to her. How'd he steal that from me? Thanks for the 5 bits. And yeah, I guess so. You have seen this before, Ja? Yes. In the desk drawer. I don't know why I didn't throw it away. Very well, you can proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope.
You get to watch a grown man bully a shy young woman. What fun.
Look, I just want an explanation on how everyone has everything. Like, do they have pictures? Do they actually have copies of everything? Did he just walk up and be like, hey, could I please have that envelope? For him. But he did not do that. I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than painting. Other than painting? Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. Huh. That's actually a really good drawing of a stamp. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. A neat explanation in the anime? I'll have to watch the anime. There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realizes it. Please begin a cross-examination. Right, okay, I'm fine. Need more information about this forger, this Drew Masham. Yeah, there's an anime. I think about the first game? I don't know. So these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right? The closer they were, the happier Father was. First 2 so far, anyway? Do you think they'll go for the third one? The third one's not super long. They'd have to go into this game, right? Or they could go into, like, investigations. Like 6 episodes of the third game, and then Edgeworth Investigations for the rest of the anime. I don't know how long that game is, though. We'll find out. I was happy, too. Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work? My first painting sold when I was 12. Your Honor! She had no idea what she was doing was illegal. What she was doing was illegal. Objection! Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. Also, just because a baby does not know it's illegal to stab someone does not mean they cannot and will not do it. Tell us more about this envelope. Envelope that may very well killed your father. Oh, jeez. Alright. And the envelope comes up to the board and he's like, no. Vera, I am your father. Like, other than painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point? Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings. For instance, a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup. Really? Or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter. None of this makes it sound very innocent at all. And the 100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Masham. New industry? The creation of items to be used in the criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh. So you didn't know how the things you were making were being used. You don't have to draw a smiley face. Darn it, you did it. I enjoy painting very much. I think I understand. The Fraulein has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope? Father signed them and sent them back, I believe. Did he follow the instructions? Send the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp. It's a rather important matter. Give your answer the same thought. It's weird that they actually made her draw that out again. What do you mean, you received it? Did I do something wrong? You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Atroquinine or whatever. A moment, Air Forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps, you would tell me, Fraulein Bear? Why did you receive this stamp? Something wrong? Sorry, if you draw the stamp again. You already had it drawn, you don't need to draw it again. It's wasting paper. It was beautiful. Ah, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps. I don't know. She was already holding it up. Why did she have to draw it again? But she was already holding that picture up. It's the exact same picture. It's impressive she was able to copy herself. Yes, I think it was. So you didn't know about the poison. It's not gonna feel good when she runs out of paper. That's what I would say if this wasn't a video game. Now there's a new face. I guess not. So the trap failed by chance, by mistake, thanks to this commemorative stamp. Why can't I say that word? I know what it sounds like. Quite the close call. You move to the current studio. You move where the current Drew studio is? Yes, we saw very few people in there. I began drawing picture books. This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Masham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work. So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Masham. You did the work and he supplied the face. So you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Apparently not, if that's what that picture is supposed to represent. About this commemorative stamp. Can you tell us more about it? We draw it again, hang on. It was very pretty, and more than that, yes. It was a picture of people I liked at the time. The Gaviniers? That'd be a cute twist. That's why she's so starstruck. Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you'd be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fraulein. Yeah, okay. I like how he's totally on board with this. Commemorative. Commemorative. I can't say that quickly, apparently. Oh! Favorite magicians. So that would be... the Gramarys. Hold it! Magicians? You mean like this one right here? I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat. You're confusing mysterious with freaky. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. It's gonna reveal that Valent is the big villain here. He's the one that sent that poisonous stamp. See? See? Isn't magic great? Fine, yeah, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited. But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. Oh. I just got that that's actually like a teary face. I wasn't really sure what that was supposed to be. Because, you know, the eye is a straight line and then it's like a circle. I was like, that's not... whatever. Holiday emotes, but no notification or anything to indicate such? I mean, I got it on my side. Have you had this tab open the entire time, Phoenix? If you haven't refreshed, then, that's probably why it hasn't fixed itself. You know, because someone leaves it open the entire time. There you go. Oh, they have a dreidel. That's kind of cool. Thanks for the 10 cupcakes. Snow Yeti? Gift Rage? Oh, you had to open the box. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of people were dumping 250 in Stream 4-star, and people were getting gifted emotes, which was pretty neat. I did not get any, but that's fine. Unless these are those. I have the Illuminati. That's an amazing emote. Here you go. That's the Illuminati. That's not a thing, but that seems to be a Prime emote. Yeah, it's a Prime emote, but it's still the Illuminati, and that's a great emote. Anyways, back to things. I figured you would. A lot of people did. Did she say what I just think she said? Magic Troop? Now where have I heard that before? It's almost like the answer's in my pocket. Red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes the letter from her client, whoever wanted a forgery made. Apollo. We're close. We just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path it took to take Drew Misham's life. Okay, this is where I need to present the magic show ticket? Or do I need... no, not the Gramarye... not the Gramarye envelope. Or... maybe it is the envelope? What does this say? Ah, looky here, a handwritten signature. It says... I can't read it. It says I can't read it? Huh, that's a weird thing to write on an envelope. That seems odd to me. I mean, isn't that a signature intended to show ownership? What's the use if no one can read it? Isn't it enough to read your own if you can read your own? Oh, I never thought of it that way. No, for example. Thanks for the 250 bits. I guess it only goes off a percentage. They only said 3. It was giving like 30 people the emotes earlier. But thanks for the stuff, Phoenix. I didn't get a thing, but that's fine. I'm glad other people did, to be honest. I don't use enough emotes as is. Yeah, I figured it would be. Like half the people? I don't know, they were at like... they're usually at like 2,000 people. Hello, Sanosuke. No problem, hope you're having a good time at work. I mean, as good a time as you can at work. Thanks for the lurk. So should I present this magic show ticket or the envelope? I'm not really sure. I'm gonna try the ticket, I think. We're still at full health, and it's like, whatever. If I'm wrong, then obviously the other thing's gonna be right. I don't feel like it's this. Because this says don't open till the time is right. I mean, this could be the right time, though. How am I supposed to know when the time is right? It's probably going to be some stupid hint. Knowing Phoenix. 2.5. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's probably like a max of like 29 or something. That way people don't just dump in the big streams, I guess. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna try the ticket. Here we go. I'm probably wrong, actually. But I always second guess myself. And then triple guess myself. And then take a drink of water. I was right, apparently. Those magician you liked. Was it this bunch? Even though this is one guy? Yeah! Apollo, they're not a bunch, they're a troop. I see! Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp? Commemorative stamp. Like that in a business letter. Good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat troop gramarye. But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin? Gramarye? What's with Gavin? Might I ask just one question of the witness? Yeah? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work in other than painting. Please tell me, what exactly did you make? Can I? No, you cannot ask why. No, answer the question. Now. Whoa. He's getting serial. No, answer the question now. Prosecutor Gavin. You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. It's usually the cords of steel over there. Yes, it is unbecoming of me. I apologize. But I must know, please. Miss Misham, tell me. Tongue. It was a book. A single page in a book. A book? Please be more specific. It was handwritten book. Like a diary. No, I don't know. We're getting some backstory here because he is super serious. Super serial. What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost. And Maya's not even here anymore. Miss Misham, this book. Was there a picture of a silk cat on the back cover? Yes or no? How did you know? Objection? What the heck are you talking about? Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all of your questions. Stop battering her. Whoa. That's usually on the other end. I think this is the first time we've had to ask the prosecutor to stop battering the witness. He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor? Nothing? Sullied who? Phoenix, right. Who else? He's not really my mentor. Daddy, he never told you about the trial 7 years ago? About how he came to lose his attorney's badge? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back it bore the mark of a silk hat. What? Phoenix Wright, tossed out of the profession by false evidence. And the forger who made that evidence. Is the girl standing right before me? Very, you must tell us. I'm apparently very invested now. The evidence you made was used in the trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham you to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it? Oh, well, what was he talking about? 7 years ago? I was here 7 years ago. I was in that trial. We only met once. You met the client? Sorry, I'm usually just, pressing the button as I read it. Well, who was it? I'll pause more often. It was Mr. Hat! What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again. Yes, what? Is there something about me? Oh, is it gonna be his brother? I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary. Who was it? Oh no, don't choke. Don't faint. The devil himself. Broly. Oh, I guess, Vera condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis, acute. Oh no. How did she get poisoned? This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Masham. Vera Masham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. Currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. Ah, its true colors. A light shade of orange. Or whatever color that is, I don't know. Title of the SAS? What? Long Road to the Truth takes us to the record of another trial. Hi, Phoenix. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. Achtung, I am here, with slightly shorter hair. And that is where we must go. To find the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you, Mr. Hat. That tiny Trucy? Must be when she was wearing pink. Turnabout succession. Showdown time. Well, I can tell you with certainty, Sivia, that something is afoot. It's only a game of poker. Game I've played for a long time. Who was the first? Man I killed, of course. Well, seems I've found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why yes, over a game of cards. Beans with his hands put together, he's like, this is serious. That's how we first met, 7 years ago. I can't even press anything, so I can't look at chat at the moment. Otherwise I'll miss stuff. 7 years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial. For now. Probably, maybe, I don't know. You know, in a way, this is actually pretty great because Phoenix basically becomes Mia in this situation. This is just like Trials and Tribulations, except Phoenix is the tutorial level. That's way in the future of the game, basically not a tutorial level. But I'm assuming we don't have to investigate anything. Also, hello Mimikyu, how's it going? Sorry that I went live when you were not looking. Oop. Now where's Maya? Been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. It's like I haven't been playing this entire game. Gotta try and relax. Gotta channel my inner Beanie. Ah, good morning, Mr. Enigmar. I get it. He's an enigma. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not even entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yeah, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. Also, that's normal. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me. Hello, little Trucy. Oh, morning, Daddy. Ah, I'm so glad you came. You okay, Daddy? They picking on you? 'Cause this is a real father. Ha ha ha, I'm fine, as always. This old boy here is here to help me after all. That's young Mandy you, sir. Yeah, she is adorable and wearing pink. Clearly she grew more experienced with how fashion works as she got older. Good morning, that's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks, my first show's today after all. Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about? Oh boy. Huh? Me? Look what he started. Here. Started matching Phoenix instead. What's this? Seems Fates? Fates what? I can't read cursive. I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important. What's this? A memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. I'll give it a read later. Later being right now. There's a picture. Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it, somehow. It's usually how it works. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. Whoa. Darn this bot. Spiky Hair describes millions of anime characters, but only 2 of them in this game. One of which is in jail. Ah, an easy win then, yes? They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office, but you know, they've said that about everyone I've fought. Of course, there's one of those every year. Yep. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it's a difficult situation I put you in. But, allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yeah? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today, so do your best, but do not worry. First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can. Ah ha ha! I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy? Yep, you bet. My first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given is a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. Client is Shady Enigma, otherwise known as the Riddler. Otherwise known to the world as Zach Gramarye, a wildly popular magician, star of the troupe Gramarye. Can't call a verdict on a dead man. His mentor, Magnifi Gramarye, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic until he was shot dead. Whoa, harsh. And Zach Gramarye is the suspect. Oh, well. Not that happening recently. Wow. Did we just go through time and space? What's going on here? Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigma, and, feels like we just went through time. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Also, I'm gonna read this note real quick. Let's see. Mysterious paper received just before the trial. Touch the check button for details. It should actually give me the power to zoom in. Seems fate's something will make me wait a little bit longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all these who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. It was written by Magnifi. Crime photo. He is pretty goofy looking. There's a bullet hole in that clown. And a bullet hole over there? Why is there a bullet hole over there? And one in his head. That's 3 bullet holes. Also, his IV is out. And his thing's on. And he's writing in his diary, I guess. Lock is the word? Am Am I saying something wrong, or...? I'm not really sure what you guys are talking about. Single gunshot to the head. Estimated time of death 11:30. Loss of blood from the bullet wound. I'm pretty sure a bullet wound to the forehead would just kill you instantly. Malignant tumor confirmed in the victim's liver. Oh, okay. Fate's clock. Okay. It looks like an O or an A. The mage fight. You can put in mage fight and then some points to join a mage fight. It's actually supposed to be like a combo thing. Like, you're supposed to work together on that, but I turned it into a mage fight. It says cause of death, loss of blood from the bullet wound. I'm pretty sure getting shot was the cause of death. It doesn't say he doesn't die instantly. I mean, 11:10 to 11:30 kind of implies it wasn't instantly. Well, that's not how that works. They could just say he was shot in the head for cause of death. They didn't need to say loss of blood. And also, getting shot is pretty solid when that happens. My all-important badge. It shows that I am a defense attorney. Keep playing. Fine. I will. Oh, Shtun. Is the prosecutor ready? I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really. Buzzkill? Is this some kind of new kind of crime? You're killed by bees? One of the worst. This is a trial, Ja. Where are the sweaty palms? The pounding hearts? A Gavineer's concert got 10 minutes. The thrill... Got 10 times the thrill this gig's got. Nice, Random. Who were you again? Clavier. Clavier Gavin. I came to get this party started. Legally, Ja. Gavin, defense attorney Christoph Gavins? Ah, figures my bro's more famous in this part of town. Clavier Gavin. Lead singer for the mega hit band, the Gavineers. I'm surprised Phoenix knows that. You're out of your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. As all prosecutors are, I am equipped with mind-reading technology. True, my debut is single. 13 years hard time for love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, Ja. Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Aero rock accent, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up. Air attorney, right? Phoenix seems very confident. It's not like him. Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on the case. Ouch tongue, baby. Time to call in the opening act. What was his name again? Ah yes, Detective Gumshoe. Hit it. Oh look, we actually get to see Gumshoe. Hey pal! It's been like, I don't know, a couple months since I popped up. And you are. Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir. I mean pal, sir. Name's Gumshoe. Homicide detective down at the Predict. Detective Gumshoe, long time no see. Doesn't have to worry about Maya being kidnapped. Where is she? Long time no see. Hey you, pal. Huh? Me? Today's the day, pal. Day I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see? What, you normally lack confidence in your testimony? The one game Maya doesn't get kidnapped because she never appears. Isn't that technically a kidnapping, though? She was kidnapped by the developers to put her in a different game. Like, if she doesn't appear... He likes Phoenix, but he hates losing, I think. Air Detective, this is my stage, Can the Antics. Huh? All this hey you-ing and such. And I could care less about your history together. Look. Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand. Happened 6 days back, pal. In the room at the General Hospital. You know, like in the picture. Facts are simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. Dead guy on there, of course. You know, that's what makes it a crime scene. Victim was a patient, asleep in the hospital bed. He had a really cute cap on, I gotta say. Killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam, lights out. I mean, it was already lights out. It was like past curfew, pal. But you get what I mean. Stop making fun of the way I talk, pal. Them's the facts, pal. If the gun was put to his forehead, which it wasn't because we can already tell that there were 3 shots fired, wouldn't there be like a burn mark around the wound? I feel like that was in a trial before. Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifi Gramarye, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were. Ah, yes. Ah, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifi to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare. Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. Get the entire gun talk again, oh boy. Where's our bullet fingerprints? I dare say Troop Gramarye has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, retired Magnifi's been in the hospital for last year or so, pal. What was it? Malignorant tutor or something, pal? Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah, he was kind of a heavy drinker. Ah, you mean ballistic markings, the fingerprints of the gun. Exactly. Malignant tumor, perhaps? In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only had 3 months left to live, in fact. Facts do seem simple enough, but something's not right. Phoenix, right? The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door, as it were? Why shoot him? I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes as well, pal. His whole body was a huge mess. Diabetes. In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin when he was shot with the pistol. The syringe is found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life. I guess we just have the syringe. Leave the question before us as clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had? Very well, detective. Perhaps you could enlighten us to the circumstances of the shooting. Yes, sir. The circumstances. Actually, victim would kind of order the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder, pal. Defendant did what was asked to him and shot the old man in the forehead. Bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it, pal. The pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. What? Think the victim ordered his own shooting? Those are the facts. I have here a letter in question. To my beloved student Zach. I can't read the rest because it vanished. Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder? I believe the answer to that question could be found at the end of the letter. Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. My beloved student Zach to something. Oh, to you. Is whatever. Looks like an A. I trust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot one shot square in the forehead. Cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. How sad. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a beep about that bit, sir. One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, attorney. Well, was there some reason? As it turns out, there was. Every night for half an hour, starting at 11. The victim, Magnifi Gramarye, was given an IV. An IV? Dang it, Steam, stop updating Dota 2. I don't even play that game anymore. Oh, sorry about that. There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed. At 11, the doctor would come and set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night, without fail. So that was the only time when they could meet without chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV. But his IV wasn't in. Shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would. What's his reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? Could have at least mentioned it to me. Get to play as Phoenix. And we get his actual thing. They sound a little bit crushed. And this letter was sent by the victim. There it is, gotcha. You're all mine this time, pal. Huh? Had a handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victim's, no mistake, pal. Ah, I see. Ha ha! Score one for the boys, pal. And lose. I was just ascertaining the facts. Why am I so annoyed? Instead of ordering your own death. Things aren't what they used to be, I guess. Not sure that's exactly commonplace, even now, Your Honor. So anyway, I guess I'll keep going on while I'm ahead, pal. I guess so. I was just expecting it to be... I don't know. How can you be so sure? Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking, pal. Can't always have a ghost lady come and save your butt. Failed to grasp the concept of questioning, detective. First, we got this letter. It says you shoot in the forehead, loud and clear, pal. Yeah, I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it. Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. I'm not gonna grow a backbone and shoot someone. You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people as bad, detective. Also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. Traces of gunpowder residue shows it had been fired recently. Well, Mr. Wright? As far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. Photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. They're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecutor's argument. Shot something else. Looking at this photograph, it makes me laugh. Another possibility occurs to me. Yes? What does the letter tell us? The defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes. Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead. Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make. What? And you can prove that with this photo? I can prove he had a choice, yes. The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. He didn't shoot the victim's forehead. What did the defendant shoot? This clown's forehead, I guess. Oh, that's a machine. I thought this was like a blood stain. I was like, why is that machine back there bleeding? Oh, it's actually just a light. The clown doll. Take a closer look, see? It's been shot in the forehead, too. Ah, there's a hole in its forehead. Yes, and a hole is the prosecution's claim. Objection! Ha! And I suppose you have a reason to why he'd shoot the clown doll? He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead. His forehead, forehead, ah! Oh, maybe that's why he says forehead all the time. Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead. Which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. This raises an intriguing possibility. The hole in the clown's forehead definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter. Why would you not get that clown doll? Objection! I figured he was. Just making fun of Apollo. But it's still an interesting coincidence. Maybe it was intentional. I admit, I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Objection. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead, as ordered, but the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This is the only way he had to follow the orders without taking a life. bullet hole in the clown's doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It very well might be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim. So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad to see the mighty fall. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. Well, doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get. Wow. Phoenix being all serious. Him being confident is weird. Please take this newfound fact into account as you continue this testimony. So what if you shot the clown? Still shot the victim, pal. Hold it. Well, let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim? Hey, not a bad summary, pal. More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary, I say, reading Phoenix's mind once more. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself. Will these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Mia believes in him. Aw, that's sweet. Well now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony? We didn't have time to gather all the details before coming here. This testimony might be the only source of complete information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. I didn't press this one. Let's press this one just in case. Boom. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was, indeed, shot in the forehead after all, just as he had commanded. It could be a setup. Well, let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change. Thanks, pal. I really appreciate it. Fine. I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe. I'm not gonna press this one either. You mean this pistol? The one in the crime scene photo? That's the one, pal! It's a funny looking gun, there's no mistaking it. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. So you verified the murder weapon, in other words. You bet we did! Why are you so certain? What Pile's saying is your head been stuck in all this time, pal. You never had a Zack and Valance quick draw shoot 'em? Huh? What's that? One of the defendant's specialties, pal. And there's some girl here. Zack and Valance stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead they hit everything else on stage, pal. It's one of the pistols they use in their show. Got a great design, huh? Kids love it. Many boys and girls join the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force. Troop Grammar stopped doing that act a while ago. Old man held on to that pistol ever since, pal. Whoa. Court would like to see the pistol in question. You got it, sir. Here she is. Well, it truly is a blast from the past. The stage pistol from the magic show, see, pal? It can fire real bullets, apparently. Okay. It's so much bigger in real life than on TV. Yeah, it can only be hold one round. By the way, pistol's firing chamber's empty. Can only hold one round, huh? Shows traces have been fired recently. Were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say the lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own. Intriguing point. Well made. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow, well made. Not intriguing. In any case, the court accepts this evidence. Alright, guess that's what I present. Grandchild will get a kick out of seeing this. I can zoom in and examine. Staring down the bullet of a whatever the lyrics are. Let's see. If you look closely, you can see how the pistol's made to bend here. It's a one-shot only model, and I guess it's been where you load it. So this is the famous Grammary golden gun. I think kids used to love pretending they had one of these. I wonder if they pretended to miss their targets too. Trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand? Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went in, objection. Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not. The murder weapon? Quite simple, Your Honor. Pistol only holds one bullet at a time. Ah. If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too. Yark. That's not a contradiction, not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. Oh, where did he get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet beyond my good looks and startling record sales. And utter lack of humility. What's this? I think the prosecution has another witness prepared. Like I said, Air Detective was just the warm-up act. Ugh. It's okay, Gumshoe, we love you. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gremery who shot the victim in the forehead. You'll pause for a 15-minute recess? This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach. Court is adjourned. To be continued. We've gotten 2 save points in, like, an hour? Yeah, like, almost a complete hour. Probably like a minute off. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less. We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually. I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discover the truth yourself. I was thinking of you, you know. You any less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened? Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy. Speaking of which, where is she? You have seen the problem yourself, the letter. The one shot in the forehead, one, right? Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death. Why not? This is something I will not say, for now at least. What is this for now business? I've done many things in my life, some well, some poorly. This is a cross we must bear alone to our graves. We? You wanted to know about the night of that incident? Finally, this guy sure likes to take his time getting the important stuff. Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night and at the appointed time, and found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. 2? Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valet. Oh, for the Zack and Valet's quick draw thing. My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light from the sound of his breathing. I took his pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then for a moment. You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him? Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first. So there was another request you couldn't refuse before? To be honest, I've not always been this steadfast. And I fear I've brought pain upon Trucy. Or risking his disciples somehow? What was going on in True Grammary? Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. In your pocket? I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called? Rifling marks? Yes, well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case. Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me? Ha ha ha. You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright. Thanks? Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened. Magnifie Gramery's eyes open? The old devil, he was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him up anyways. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion. Maybe 5-10 minutes or so. What did you talk about? Aha, Mr. Wright, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case. He's pretty steadfast to me, or maybe just stubborn. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom, I guess. Once again, I am in your hands. Right. Oh, wait, that's me. Right, let's get back in there. I don't think the @ thing works for the give command. Sorry. Court's now back in session. During the recess, a bullet was found in and dug from the clown's head. This is new, and the rifling marks? There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis, though they did find the weapon type that matches the murder weapon. Not very conclusive, is it? Which is why I'm about to call on a very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Though they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production, being the other half of Troupe Gramarye's famous duo, Zack and Valent. Kinda expected this. We get to meet the great Magnifie's other disciple. And he does not have a beard. But he still has this stupid staff. Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation. Valent Gramarye, magician. And you're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student your partner's guilt? Fate, the grand illusion, filled with entraps and tricks. Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late? If one were to deduce that logically, then the conclusion is yes. Okay. I always get the characters, don't I? He's not getting flustered at all, and it's weird. I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this. That looks very familiar. Wait. Same letter Zack Gramarye received. Yes, or perhaps I should say, ta-da! Oh, I didn't realize his hair was a rake. What does it say? Surely not the same thing. Perhaps you just see for yourself. Why, this is practically the same. 11:20, I will ready a gun once you shoot. One shot, square in the forehead. Cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Court accepts this as evidence. This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your Troupe Gramarye up to? By which you mean? I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his own students to kill him. Both of them, no less. It's just my opinion, Air Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked the magician's path together, and so doing, shared many of our lives. When people are so close, there's a strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand. By which you mean you're not going to tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. 1 hour. Let's get on with the testimony for Sarge. The defendant, Zack Gramarye, stands accused. Tell us why. Oh, I'll do more than that. For wherever he walks, the red roses rise singing hymns to the miracle that is magic. Fascinating. Though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene. In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time. Aha! Aha! Every magician knows timing is everything. Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up. Interesting. That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifie requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final blow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss. I gave it to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police. So you were the one who reported the crime. Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Let's not jump to any conclusions, especially ones that benefit you. Cross-examination generally comes before the conclusion in this court. Generally, I don't know about that. Not if your brother's in here. But if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zack Gramarye, is guilty. And if it wasn't Zack Gramarye, then the killer was you, Valent. That raises questions on their relationship in the future. And no disappearing act will get you out of that. Check one little thing. 13th, 11:20. Marks the bullets found in the victim. No fingerprints found. Good job, Random. You seem to win that one a lot. Which, according to the letter, was 11:20. Indeed. In magic, timing is everything. Right. Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic. You just did. Now that you've revealed the serious secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on. You went to the designated time, and what did you see? I've lost all respect for this man. He revealed the secret of his magic. You weren't worried for your own safety at all? I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter is still nearby? I did not consider this, to be honest. It is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination. Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid. No, you were the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have good imagination. As we refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things. Oh, jeez. Which brings us back to this reason neither of you could refuse. So it does, and my partner, he did not refuse. But Magnifi wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zack couldn't? Because I have the will of steel, of course. I also do this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't all that strong. So which is it? Mind if I continue? There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, one in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zack must said the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. Better dig around here a bit more and see what turns up. Mr. Valent, let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene, namely... the number of pistols. How many pistols were there when you entered the room? By which you mean what, precisely? 2 pistols were used in the Zack and Valent quick draw shoot-'em, correct? 1 for each of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat at the hospital room that night. What did Zack tell me back in the lobby? Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time and found that upon his bedside table sat 2 pistols. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. I see no problem with this statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all. So you picked up that pistol and fired it? Indeed I did. Alakazam, Alakazim, Alakaboo. Are pistols really so important? Quite important. Number pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony. What can I do but obey? Yeah. According to the defendant, Zack Gramarye, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table. 2. One of the pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead, then he left with it in his pocket. Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what about Mr. Valent? What Mr. Valent told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you, I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. That's your story, at least. He doesn't know about ballistic markings. But the rifling markings tell a very different story, Mr. Valent. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us? We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks in the bullet were a perfect match. Ah. Mr. Valent, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Order in the court. This is rather sudden. Objection. What have I done? Prosecutor Gavin, I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. Analysis of the rifling marks only proved the type of gun that fired them. But that's not what you told us before. It's also not how rifling marks work. You said you verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth? Yes. That was just this morning. That was 20 minutes ago. I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now. Valent Grammary? Yes, Your Honor. You were presented in this court as a decisive witness, but you've proven to be more divisive than decisive.
Objection!
Objection! Shut up. You'll see in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next. Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin? When Mr. Valent entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his testimony will prove, right. The real fight is about to begin. Bring it. Whoa. Very well, the witness will now testify at the court. I think Phoenix is just like, I fought an evil ghost spirit of my old girlfriend. Potentially the old girlfriend. I can take on anything. I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at the time was my partner, not me. Times are rather close, you have to admit. Talking about alibi established over a murder of Menace. Use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi is easy to explain the situation, Judge. For example, take our debut, there we go. Our debut hit single, 13 Years, Hard Time for Love. Yeah, it's not much weirder than that. Or is there? Oh no. Do it 100 times, the result is the same. I didn't read the second piece. Debut hit single is only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long? What a ripoff. Magic is a work of the utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires admirable focus. And the time of death determined by the doctor there was an incontrovertible truth. It's a really big word. Very well, prosecution warns us that we're dealing with rather precise times. See you, Rosie. Hope you have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. We can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision. I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations, lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands. Point taken. Face's remarks will result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. Wright. Carry on. Right. That's what he said. Undisputed. That is what that word means, yes. Who shot what? Hold it. 11:20 p.m. Can you prove that's when you arrived? Alas, such a feat may be beyond even the great Valent. There was no one in that room but Magnifi, and he was departed after a fashion. I have here defendant Zach's Grammy's sworn disposition. I stuck into the room that night at the appointed time. It was 10 minutes before I left the room, and the victim was still alive. Okay, good luck with your plans for things, Mimikyu. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good night. Time indicated in his letter Zach was 11:05. Exactly. Which means that the witness could not have entered the room before 11:15, because his partner was still in the middle of his crime. Someone did their homework. I didn't see what the other word was. You see, the defendant himself has corroborated the witness's testimony. Does that all make sense? Did that make sense? We'll get a penalty if we make baseless remarks, but... No, I don't think it's a problem. I don't see any problem with that testimony. If you say so. Let's continue, shall we? Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. Walk in on murder and the first thing you do is shoot the clown? The disciple does what the disciple must. A mentor's request, without reason, had caused me a surfeit of sorrow. But what would I, Valiant, be now without him? May the soul of Magnifi the Great find greater peace above. This I muttered to myself as I pulled that lonely trigger. In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. Also, I need to read this real quick. It's only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Oh. So that means he left at 11:10. That guy wrote the thing, and then... Okay. I'm still waiting for one of those right moments, heir for attorney. May remind you of basis remarks will earn penalties. Proceed with that in mind. Yes, Your Honor. What a pain this is turning out to be. I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time? We do usually get an estimated time of death, true. I'm not sure I've heard of a verified time of death. Magic revels in making the complex appear simple, but the reality is opposite. What appears complex in this case is a simple matter of subtraction. The person who's done their arithmetic homework? The point here is that the IV the victim was taking is quite visible in the photograph in the scene. Except that it's not in his arm. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim, Magnifi Gramarie's schedule. Every night at 11, Magnifi took an IV for 30 minutes. I can see the IV bag right there, yes. Now look at the little closer. Follow the tube down from the bag to the end. Ah, the needle's been removed. Doubtlessly it fell out when he was shot. That would seem to be the case. When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips. Could just measure the remaining IV liquid. Precisely. The IV liquid functions, for our purposes, as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after the administration had begun. That's nice to know. And so it was when I, Valiant, entered the room. 10 minutes had passed since the horrible crime was committed. And this is proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Did that seem important? I kind of want to say yes, this is important, because that IV is kind of way over there. Then, you know, he could have taken it out himself. Is it unimportant? You're gonna throw me for a loop if you throw things out like that. That was pretty important, though. Let's see here. Wash and shows no sign of use. Nice job, Phoenix. I don't know. Is it important? I don't have a thing. I don't have a little thing that says I'm gonna get a penalty if I say important. That's weird. You know what, who cares? Well, seeing how it was the biggest clue we have to the time of death, I'd say it's very important. Agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. Behold the power of arithmetic. Very well. Witness will add this to detail to his testimony. Sometimes the most magical thing of all is repeating yourself. And also the truth. Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance? When I first entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead, and then his left arm did I spy a rose, drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle. Arithmetic? Okay. Knocked loose from the vein by the force of the shot, lucky for you. If the IV had not been there, why, you might be a suspect. Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky collar. Your lucky collar? Indeed, even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self, for it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valent won their first magical Grand Prix? Yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians. I was adorned this attire then too. And our trophy, a bust. Ah, what a day that was. One trip down memory lane no one needs. My lucky collar, yes indeed, and that IV too. I say, I think 'twas hewed especially for me, Valent. Does seem to be the case indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony? Oh, sure looks happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky collar testimony? What color is it? Is that yellow? It's kind of orange to me, but... Is that yellow? Like, is this a contradiction? I guess it could be a contradiction, but I don't know. What's a shade? I don't know. Or maybe there's something else. Let's see here. Small syringe, stage pistol, letter. Report. Okay, so that's just a report. Nothing to report. Okay. There's nothing in this thing at all. I don't know why I'm bothering to check this, but, you know. I always hate getting these shots. Guess Magnifi was giving himself the insulin shots. No way I could do that. Wait, Magnifi used this to inject his insulin. Why are there no traces of it having been used? Something to keep in mind. Alright, well I'm gonna say there's not a problem for now. I guess we can come back to it. Right? Is there a contradiction? I don't know. That does not look yellow to me. But let's answer this. Is that yellow? Yes, no. Is that his lucky collar? Honestly, I don't think you would even notice that. Not yellow. Okay. Well, I guess I'll say it's a contradiction. Why not? I got hits to spare. Certainly sound like your lucky collar's brought you plenty of luck, but not this time. Mr. Valiant, your lucky collar's betrayed you. I'm afraid you've lost me. Your Honor, the witness' testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence somehow. Please recall my warning about the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Face's accusation will be duly penalized. Holmes' accusation is well-based. Don't worry, I've got all your bases right here. Let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts Mr. Valiant told us? I guess the photo? Crime scene tells all, Your Honor. Photo of the crime scene. All this talk of color has me yearning for a black and white, clear-cut simplicity. I thought he was gonna make a comment about food. Tell us, Wright, just where is the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure, and I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Because, you know, for once we have a colored photo. Here Mr. Wright has to say, I guess this was the right thing to do. Well, this photo contradicts the witness's testimony. Turning to Mr. Wright's promises, this seems pretty black and white to me. Agreed. How's that? You're wrong. Black and white enough for you? How? Oh, I see. I see where this is going now. I'll take that hit. What contradicts that? Right? Instead of the IV, they want me to use this, the green. You know, even though this is the thing I was looking at as the actual IV, but whatever. Valiant Gramarye, let's get one thing straight about your lucky collar. It's yellow, yes? Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes. Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright? Well, blue is better. Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photograph in the crime scene. Every time it makes me laugh. Look at that clown. What's this? Confusion, doubt. Tell us what your elderly eyes spy. Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valiant. Look at that IV bag. What is this? What foul magic? It'd be hard to call the IV liquid yellow. I'm afraid no magic was involved in taking of this photograph. Alakazam? Alakano! Where the rabbits come from? And the birds? He's hiding all these people in here? Or all these pets in here? Order in the court, someone round up those feathers. And all these rabbits. What does this mean? Objection! This is some kind of mistake. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin, your witness's mistake. The greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Wow. Valiant Gramarye, as you reminded us several times, your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. Unless he's colorblind. Well, this contradiction can mean only one thing. Objection. And to think, you almost had me. I see your true colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. Oh, they said the thing. Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence. Hello, Loix, how's it going? Hope you're having a good night. Yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright. That's true. How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree at a glance. The IV liquid does appear to be a sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you, the liquid itself is quite yellow. Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell in this photo, it's green. Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook? Looks like, I want to say light blue? Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put a yellow liquid in the blue-green bag, and you get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color. I see. Explanation does have a ring of truth to it. Doesn't, actually. But whatever. Objection. As I thought, there's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin. Oh. What? You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave, for you, that is. Grave? The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? It's quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Ah. He saw it when he took the IV out. Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how'd the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Ah, oh my god. Order in the court, someone round up those rabbits. Mr. Wright, you explain this at once. Witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something, but what? I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valent Gramarye, has testified the IV liquid is yellow because it looked yellow, he's seen it before, he knew the IV liquid's color. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before. But not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in clear, colorless bag. Suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear what all this means. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at a hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor. Objection! I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah? Like how we have the old music too. IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. 30-minute hourglass with a 20-minute worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin. I remember it well. However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Wait, I know. An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right, right? I mean, as much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sands through an hourglass, these are the days of our lives. But IV liquid enters through the patient's body, which at one point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You could tell, couldn't you? After all, there's no way in knowing how much went in. Oh! He put some in himself. Let me get this straight, Air Right. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. That is how you knew the IV liquid is yellow. Now wait, I said wait. How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task? I am an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup. Objection! I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag, quite. Quite, right? Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat? He has a point, amateurs. Wow. I, at least, would have had some difficulty pouring an IV liquid into that bag. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back to the down to earth? Valent Gramarye, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness is certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All I had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was... Ah. I'm assuming this. The victim's syringe. It's a perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick. Easy enough for the amateur to use. Objection. What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it. Objection, that's the point. And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, Valiant Gramarye, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes a perfect clone, one that you could manipulate at will. Alakazog? The witness will please refrain from leaving animals in the courtroom. I do believe, well, with this being his first, that burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that while there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today. Now maybe I can squeeze out an extra day out of this, and do a little much-needed investigation work. Yeah, Gavin's not as good. He's like actually pointing things out that are bad for him. Objection! Truly, there is no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. A word to the wise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you. In a way you never, ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. What's he talking about? You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of IV liquid, but there is no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. He's admitting it? Nor was the witness quite as decisive as I hoped. This, I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much? You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin? Proof, Herr Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less. What's this? This is the victim Magnifique Gramarye's diary. Diary? After going to the hospital, Magnifique began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his starring debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we? It's clearly torn, like right there, man. This is not a conclusive evidence at all. It does appear to have written just before his death. Nice IV is in, maybe the last. The rest of them, the first shall come soon, the journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. Depends on his hand. All that's left is for me to lay down this pen. Court accepts this as evidence. Read the very last part with particular care. This journal may end here, or it may go on, but not very long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his. He refers to our defendant, Zach Gramarye. That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor after all, even though it's clearly ripped, guys. But look what he said before that. This journal may end here, or it may go on. It may go on. Magnifique Gramarye intended to write again. That is, if Zach Gramarye didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on. It ends. Because Magnifique's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Gramarye. I can't believe Phoenix lost his badge to this trial. You're certain Magnifique Gramarye wrote this? There is no mistake in his handwriting. We had Detective Gumshoe analyze it. Does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifique did intend to continue his diary. Yet if his diary ended here, which painfully it did not, then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Gramarye. Well, how do you like me now, Herr Wright? Still too green for your taste, hmm? Sorry about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with precious evidence. Oh, maybe Phoenix is going to point it out. Testimony we heard is lacking. Put together with evidence, seems quite sufficient for a case. Diary is accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something... Honestly, no need to show evidence, but... I guess we have this? And, you know... This is where I'm guessing the fake evidence comes into play. I don't want to do it. Can I just press no need? Can I just do that? Is it funny? Maybe it's time for me to show them something, but I want to press no need, because it's really obvious. You would think a magician would be able to pull things out of a book, like, way more cleanly. You know? I don't like anything about this situation. But the judge is already getting twitchy with his gavel. I better show them something quick, or else. Oh, guess I don't have a choice. You have some evidence that overturns this diary? Yeah, my eyes. It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment. That's my line. Can you show us your evidence, Mr. Wright? Incidentally, I don't think even showing us this diary, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just shown the court. Now that we've come this far, I hope you understand have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. Alright, I'd be happy to. And proving the diary didn't end with this page is this one. Unlike this notebook page. Here you go. First, take a close look at this diary. Every time I do, makes me feel fiery. Note that the page has been clearly ripped out. What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all. We get him glasses. That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Alaka, I don't believe it! Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifi Gramarye. That's the defense's position. Wait, let me see that. What in Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary. Ah, he set it up, I guess. Or he's just going for the truth. Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page of Magnifi's diary. Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, Heir Attorney? Diary continued after his first visitor came, which means the victim was still alive after Zach Gramarye left, leaving no one to take his life but his second visitor. Valent Gramarye. No. No! I don't want to say that he set it up, but his brother might have. Because we got a reveal of that just a bit ago. This is without a doubt the genuine article. Order in the court, but wait! This is impossible! That old man couldn't have written that! Objection! Gonna remove this from... Okay. Finally! You just couldn't resist, could you, Heir Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Heir Judge. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold. Prosecution would like to call a new witness. Prosecutor Gavin. This evidence overturns the current witnesses. I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes, no more. I promise, Your Honor. And if you put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear his new testimony sooner than later anyways. Might as well be sooner. You know, through this highly, highly irregular. You put the current cross-examination on hold, the witness may step down. Prosecutor Gavin, bring in the surprise witness to the courtroom. I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped-out page was too obvious. He must have known. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around. Is that who I think it is? Only trial with no audience is a first, even for me, Prosecutor Gavin. I beg the court's understanding. Dang it, you're dead. Well, potentially dead. Probably dead. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony. Judiciary deal? The details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it best contained the information to this room. So I got rid of the peanut gallery. And you were the witness, I gather? Does he have eyes? Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. State your name and occupation for the record. My name's, Drew Masham. I'm a painter. A painter? You're someone related to this case? No, well, not per se. I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Masham, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, yeah. I know it well. How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before? Oh, yeah. I mean, I made it. You what? You made it? Yeah. You might call it one of my, my works. The Regional Prosecutor's Office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gramarye. Illegal evidence? I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large. Drew Masham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries? Well, so we're to understand that this page here is a fake. Prepared by a certain defense attorney. Objection. Hold it. I didn't prepare this evidence. Objection. Ah, the attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume. But what is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix, right? Mr. Masham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client? I don't know. What? Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make items they want, and I receive my payment. Honestly, I probably should, use that payment to get a bath. That's the extent of my contact with them. But, there's no proof this is fake. It's a fake. Huh? To avoid just this sort of problem, I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine. Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court. Didn't know. It was careless of me. That's all I can say. Oh, old boy. Here. What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to some old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important. It was all a trap. A fatal trap. Mr. Wright, yes? Do you have an explanation for yourself? If I did, will the court hear it? Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime. Presenting it in court, a serious mistake. Fatal mistake for an attorney. Fatal too, perhaps, for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one. Your Honor, wait. I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime, but you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual. I am sorry, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, ja? I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself. No need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed. Oh, were you talking to me? Mr. Attorney. Yes? Could I ask your name? Phoenix Wright. Mr. Wright. I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright. Okay, that was weird. Hey, we're back! Why were we kicked out? That was rude. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way. Trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must. Ah, Your Honor! Yes, Mr. Zach? There is one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible. I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you. Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict when your defendant does not exist? Doesn't exist? What are you talking about? I am talking about this. Mr. Hendingmar, the defendant escaped. Find him, quick. I mean, I guess you can't really convict a ghost. Prove that with Dahlia. Bailiff, close all exits from the building. What is going on? On the double. He must not be allowed to escape. That day in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shady Enigmar, aka Zach Gramarye, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably, vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day. This is the Gramarye miracle, ha ha ha. Well. No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. I mean, didn't exist and ran away are two different things, I think. That's how it happened. Trial magician Zach Gramarye vanished along with him for all eternity. Mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however, but not until 7 years later. When we were given just ice. No verdict declared, yet Wright still lost his badge for some reason. In typical Ace Attorney fashion, there is no solid reason that he had to be given a penalty. He did present the evidence, but there was also no proof that he got the evidence, like there's no proof that he's the one that tried to get the evidence made. Well, whatever. Trial 7 years ago was the beginning of it all. Now I know beyond doubt. Mysteries of the past work their magic on the present. You'll soon be finding all this out for yourself in the future. Which of Magnifi's Gramarye's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Gramarye go? What dark truth lurks behind the forged diary page? And what about the girl who was left behind? Oh, that's sad. Mason system. This all a simulation? The past left us these 4 keys to unlocking the truth. But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first you must chase the truth through then and now. Think of it as a game. I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. That terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended, half finished, when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There is something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. My Magatama. We get to have his lie detector. What does it do, you ask? That would have to see for yourself, even though you might have already done that. Well now, shall we begin? Touch the arrow to the switch between past and present. Let's begin 7 years ago, in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now you know the game, let's play. Honestly, I feel like they should have started with this, but this is pretty great. Can I like switch between the two? Okay, so as a side, first off, I think that was the first like frontal picture we have of Apollo. But also, this sound, it sounds just like the ghoul sound from Warcraft, and it's really weird. Only for a second though. After it stretches out, it doesn't really pick any place to start. Well, I don't know how much longer we'll go. At least another hour, I guess. Let's see what the detention center is. Time where the trial was over. And the new nightmare of figuring out what had happened had just begun. Where's Maya? I wanted to wake up. Walk away. Figured I'm the only one that can do this. Probably. And besides, I had plenty of time. Thanks to the Bar Association's review board decisions. It's hard to work when your attorney badge has been taken away. 7 years ago. Center visitor's room. I think they're not clear on that. What a strange sight doth mine eyes behold, excuse me. 2 men on either side of a single transparent plane. Yet it seems a fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes within these plexiglass confines. Been no proof that I forged anything. No proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits. And what, may I ask, awaits you? A little piano and a cold little hole in the wall. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnifique Grand-Marie, for one. Who pulled the trigger, Valant or his partner, Zack? Partner vanished before the answer could be found. If I'm gonna get any closer to the truth, this is the place to start. Oh wow, I can just end search. No movement, just end. Interesting. I have to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That's talent. Made my attorney's badge disappear, and he never even touched it. Glory's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows, yet his very disappearance itself is a revelation. Feeling what? Zack Grand-Marie killed Magnifique. As good as a signed confession. It's certainly been the public's take on it. I grow tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare. Planning on jumping back to the magic act right away? As long as an audience waits with bated breath, there will be Valant. And also... Yeah. And now that my partner has disappeared, Magnifique's repertoire is mine. I don't think I said that correctly. Valant Grand-Marie has a tradition to uphold. Is that true? Seen in this light, the trial was quite good to me, verdict or no. And you can't pay for that kind of publicity. I mean, you probably could. Suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Valant. I cannot read, apparently. After all, you received one of those letters, too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnifique's instructions as your partner. So I was, but only Zack Grand-Marie followed them. Let us not speak any more of who shot what. Now that my partner has vanished, the question is moot. I'm more interested in learning something else, actually. And what might that be? I want to know what Magnifique had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him? The trick up his sleeve? Haha, an interesting choice of words. Perhaps you do not know. Know what? The great magician never reveals his secrets. Uh-oh. I didn't think it would be that easy. Audience must remain forever in the audience. Bathing in the reflected glow of the spotlight. Magatama, one of my most prized possessions, which I got during a certain case that I'm not going to, get specific about. It can show me the locks on people's hearts. If I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me their secrets. That's how that works. The Magatama starts it all. The Magatama ends it. Oh, it has its own button now instead of presenting it. Cool. But do I have evidence to support what he did? Can I read his diary? Can I just, read everything? Maybe? The ripped out page. Now I see that everything has been set up. Also, I present forged evidence to the court. Ah, okay, so I have to go to the other sections. Basically, I just have to move around, okay. I can't tell, but I'm hoping that they're using the old art for the old detention center. I don't think they are, but he does look very awkward. I guess I'll gather what evidence I can. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. Didn't want to remember that day. That's true. Wait, did they? I don't know. Can't say I really noticed if they did. Ah, Your Honor! Yes, Mr. Zack? There's one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. Time for a flashback. And he's the flags are different. Came here on that fateful morning, I still had my badge, but now, like an amputated limb, I still feel it itching. It is pretty awkward not having it on the first thing. Where do I start? I don't even have any authority to investigate. Hey, there you are, sir. This guy seems familiar. I know this guy. Down on the ground! Or down on the hands, floor on your head, now, now, now! It's a big idea, my ears! No unauthorized personnel allowed in here. That would mean all unauthorized personnel are allowed. I just say it like it is, sir, and it's usually wrong. Thrown out in the printing, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. We've met before, haven't we? My case 2 years ago? No recollection of that, sir. Huh? For me, working on a case is always in the present progressive tense, sir. There's no past, there's only now, sir. Okay, you're the bailiff, right? This is the bailiff? Yes, sir. Oh, it's Meekins. Court bailiff Mike Meekins at your service, sir. I'm asked to meet with the bailiff in this court who let the magician escape. Let me try to make this as absolutely clear as possible for you, sir. That's me, sir. But you were a regular police officer once, right? Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sir. I still don't really remember him very clearly. Tells me it's a long story. Let's not go there. You were in charge of security at the time of the vanishing. I'm dying over here. Oh, it's hard knock life, sir. Thrown out of the printing, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. Guess I wasn't the only victim. Yes. Blue Badger? I remember the Blue Badger being a big thing on like a camera. I don't remember what he did. Last time we met, you were a police officer, right? In fact, you're still wearing your uniform. It's alright, I wish I didn't have to tell you this. But last year, tragedy struck Rising Star at the printing. Lost my case files 4 times in 3 days. They fired me. Takes real talent, actually. They don't even know what they're missing. Here I am, sir, forced to start square one as a lowly bailiff. But your uniform. Why'd you do this? I took it with me as a souvenir that day I was fired. Can't be legal. It didn't work anyways, but I don't know what you were doing. So you were the one who let the magician get away that day. I'm dying over here! Star rises among the court bailiffs, full of hope, then tragedy strikes. How long is this song? Oh, it's just his picture too, that's weird. It's just the Blue Badger, just moving his arms slowly. That's scary. Anything you can tell me about it? About Zach Gramarie's disappearance? Oh, the humanity! That's enough of that. Oh yes, I'd say it was about 2 p.m. when I heard the commotion in court. I opened the door to see what might be amiss. Door slams open, slam. Some guy's face is right there in front of me. Face! You saw someone suspicious coming your way. Yes, and I, being the bailiff with a little standing, I gave chase. I chased that silk cat all the way down the hall, sir. I had a diagram of the court building here. Aha, there's courtroom number 2. That's where I was, sir. Or number 7, sorry. I was looking at the lobby number 2. A weird way to design stuff. Why is lobby number 1 and 2 beside courtroom number 7? That's awkward. All by myself, nary a friend to call my own, sir. Which way did Zach Gramery run after bursting through the courtroom door? He went up like this and then around the corner like that. So I, without no delay, ran after him with no delay. When I turned the corner, saw the magician run to the defendant lobby. Swiftly I ran. Following him, I threw myself boldly into the room. Why, I remember like it was right there. Because it was. Lobby number 2, sir. Ran to this room? I don't see any place to hide in here. Believe it or not, sir, I didn't believe it. Here, in this courtroom, the magician, gone, vanished like a puff of smoke. Except there wasn't even any smoke. He was just gone. That's impossible. Yes, that word. Oh, how many times have I said that word? Even the sound of it caused me indescribable pain. I'm dying over here. Yeah, I won't say it again, promise. But you have to admit it's difficult to vanish into thin air. You searched the lobby? I searched. Why the pause? There was nothing here at all, sir. That's right, nothing was here at all, sir. How did he talk so loud and still be hiding something? Zack was in this room when he vanished. Absolutely, sir. Saw him with my own eyes. That red silk cat, that flowing cape. He ran right here, sir. Right in this room, sir. Silk hat, cape, that's Zack, alright. But, sir, look at the room. Not a single place to hide. Sir, there was nothing I could do, but nothing, sir. What about now? Have any ideas? Sir! Ideas about what exactly, sir, if you don't mind me asking, sir? Quite a bit of time since then. Has nothing occurred to you at all? Do you have any idea what the trick you might have used to disappear like that? Cyclops! I should have known. I don't have anything related to this. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, accidentally clicked the button. I was trying to press back. Yeah. So if I had to guess... That was a lot of stuff, all at once. If I had to guess, he's not the one that he chased. He hasn't said if it was a guy, really. So that means he chased Tiny Trucy in here. And she probably hid under that couch or something. Or chased Mr. Hat. Mr. Hat would exist by now, right? No, maybe not. That is pretty complicated. I don't know if I have enough stuff to examine this. Wait, can I examine anything in here? Oh, I can, cool. Teeny Trucy is pretty adorable. I actually took a nap on that couch once when I was still practicing law. I got hit on the back of the head. Got amnesia. Boy, that was a mistake. Never even sit on the lobby sofas now. Never let my clients sit on them either. It's bad luck. Okay. Must have seen the painting 1,000 times, but I never really looked at it until now. I guess my head was too stuck in the trials. Never had time to stop and appreciate art. I have time now. Okay, let's appreciate. Let's appreciate this art. Yeah, it's a tree. Actually, it's pretty lame. Wow, harsh. Charlie would be ashamed of you. You know, I think this was the lobby I used for my very first case. Plant has seen me grow from a rookie to an ace to a has-been. I hate you, Plant. Just kidding. I could never hate plants. I guess we never have been able to examine this, huh? Guess this door officially a prop in Zack's Grammy's last show. He passed through that lobby door and vanished, but to where? Choreographed? I don't know. That entire fateful trial according to his grand scenario. Alright, see you, Sivia. We'll probably not be gone too long. Too long. Hate magicians. Wow. Phoenix is pretty harsh. Wright & Co. Law Offices. 7 years ago, Wright & Co. Law Offices. Come on, Maya. Oh, morning, Daddy. Aha, I'm so glad you came. You okay, Daddy? They're picking on you. Ah, I guess we're gonna have Trucy instead of Maya. I am fine, as always. This old boy is at home. Here to help me, after all. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks. My first show's today, after all. Weeks had passed since then. Called her into my office. Trucy, there's something we need to talk about. Been 2 weeks since your father disappeared. Been 2 weeks since you looked at me. And you start thinking about your future. I did some calling around. This is hard to say, but you have no living relatives. So, I was wondering if you wanted to stay with me for a while. Just until your daddy comes home. It won't be long. I hope. Of course, it's totally your choice. If you don't like it here, you can go wherever you'd like. I could look up some places you might like to stay at. This is so weird. Probably give Maya a call. I'm sure she would be... I'm sure Pearls would like a playmate. Mr. Attorney, Daddy told me about you. Said I could trust you. Huh? Really? So if I stay here, does that mean you'll be my family? Huh? I guess so. Getting weirder. Mr. Attorney. Actually, why don't you just call me Nick? That's weird. That's weird, Nick. Or you can call me Daddy if you'd like. Doesn't really have to be today or anything. That's also weird. Say Daddy. Nick, that's super weird. That should be something that happens like years later. If I move here, I have to switch schools, right? Yeah, you can go ahead and add that to Quotra if you want, Reborn. He did say that. Along with it doesn't have to be today or anything. There you go. And I was thinking, I haven't had paid lunches from my last school for a year. So thanks, Daddy. Ah. Oh, in this office? It's a little blah. Little collar gives it a long way, you know? Ah. Oh, and Daddy, you got fired from work, right? Don't you worry one bit. I'll work twice as hard. We'll make it through this. Brucey, how old are you? Oh, I'm 8. But don't let appearances deceive you. I'm a young professional. Stick with me and you'll do just fine. Ah, thanks. Why does it feel like she's already in charge? He is familiar with this feeling. So, you got fired from being a lawyer, right? You could at least kind of look aside or something when you say that. It's actually kind of hard for me. Your daddy. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, is that foolish pride? My other daddy always used to talk about that. Actually, that's pretty accurate. But here's my idea. We'll make a new office. Law just seems so stiff, doesn't it? And no one will be my friend at school that way. Well, that won't do, I guess. I just don't know much about anything other than law. Or even much about law, if you were to ask some people. Maybe the problem is calling it an office. We should call it an agency instead. You mean like a talent agency? Forgive me for asking, but doesn't that require talent? You've got me, don't you? I'm professional. Professional? Yep. After all, I am directly descended from the famous Zach Gramarine. Directly descended? He's your father. Oh. Now I'm directly descended from the famous Phoenix Wright, too. I think an 8-year-old just massaged my ego. Can you tell me a bit more about your daddy or Zach Gramarine? Daddy, sure thing, Daddy. Which daddy was that again? Daddy's so amazing. Biggest star of the troupe Gramarine. And they're big. The Gramarys, they were on television a lot. I haven't seen them on much recently, come to think of it. Big magic happens when you put Zack and Valiant Grammarye together, you know. Once they made a giant waterfall right there on stage. And this giant trout swam up the waterfall. Let me guess, there was a giant fisherman waiting for him at the top. I wish I could have seen more of Daddy's magic. Should have brought him up. Wonder what would have happened to me with Daddy and Mommy gone. Mommy? Must be that girl in the picture. What about Mommy? I haven't heard anything about Trucy's mother, or Maya. But I have magic. I have great Daddy, even if he is unemployed. Oh, wait, that's me. You know, I think things are gonna be okay. Why are you talking about our mother? So, Trucy, you're a professional? Yes, it's like that thing they say. Baby frogs grow up to be frogs. They say that? I always thought it was funny, though. What was? Aren't baby frogs called tadpoles? Maybe they thought it'd be easier to understand that way for kids. How stupid. Right. So, in conclusion, you're a professional magician, Trucy. That's right. Well, wanna see a trick? You're gonna do a magic trick? Please show me. I would like to see your trick. The future of the agency depends on it, after all. That's the spirit. Ready? Here goes. Oh, I was right. Mr. Hat. He looks exactly the same. Hey, folks, it's Mr. Hat. Gotta say, it's good to be seen. Yarg. Whoa, that was startling. Oh, her little tuft of hair is adorable. The amazing Mr. Hat. Isn't he great? Your friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat at your service. He certainly makes an impression. So is she throwing her voice, or can he actually talk? Doesn't he? So glad you like him. Though my routines do get a bit heavy at times. Get it? Heady. You should have said wouldn't. My friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat nearly gave me a heart attack. Hey, we got Mr. Hat added to the thing. How about your mommy, if it's okay? Mommy was so pretty. She was like an angel up on stage. On stage? You mean with your daddy? Yep. She was always there with Zack and Valance smiling, but then she went away. Went away. It was a grand illusion, but she made a mistake. She vanished, and I guess she didn't know how to get back. I cried then a lot. That's when Daddy gave me this, here. Isn't that one locket? This is your mother? She's beautiful. Her name's Thalassa? Thalassa Grammary. Poor girl. Didn't know her mommy gone missing. Why can't you just say dad and mom? Now, even mentally, he's just saying daddy. Vanished too, right before her eyes. Hey, you won't... Don't worry. I won't vanish, I promise. Except for those, 3 months where I don't talk to you 7 years from now, but don't worry about that. Right, you can't even do magic. You're like a backup plan. Daddy always said to have a backup plan. Guess all I rate is a backup plan. Sorry to ask so much once like that. It's okay. After all, we're family. I just hope you're ready. The Right Talent Agency opens tomorrow. But we are representing anyone? Me and you. That makes 2. I think you need more than that to make an agency. Besides, you may be a magician, but I'm no talent. Oh, I'm sure that's something you're good at. Well, when you put it like that... You mean you don't have any tricks? No old standbys? That won't do. A boy should always have a trick or 2 in his pocket. Okay, I'll think of something. That's the spirit. See you bright and early tomorrow. Don't think of pianos, though. Welcome to the team, Daddy-O! The team, right. Yes, team right. That's what he said. Sometimes when magicians vanish, they leave something behind. That's how Trucy became Trucy Wright, my daughter. To be honest, I was pretty lost those first few days. Thinking back on it, it was a pretty dark time in my life. But Trucy, happy, smiling Trucy, she was my light. Aw, that's sweet. Can I go back to that thing real quick? Because I didn't talk to Charlie, and that feels wrong. Alright, I guess not. Let's go to Drew Studio, I guess. Well, this looks different. Thank you for the 5 Trucy bits. Tell him the truth, see? Wait for this darn song to end.
Bits for the tiny Trucy. To adorable,
Trucy.
less than 3.
Less than 3? What? I think she's a solid 10 out of 10 on the cuteness scale. Okay, maybe 9 out of 10. She's wearing the wrong collar. Anyways, I figured you'd be here sooner or later. Hello, guy. I decided on sooner. Drew Masham, was it? I haven't done anything illegal, and I didn't come here to whine about past events. I wanted to ask you some questions. I suppose you have that right, Mr. Wright? Yes. That day, the entire court descended into chaos, even though we were the only ones there. Only you stood still, your eyes calmly watching. I admit, it made quite an impression on me. I'm used to finding myself in outrageous situations. I had to parrot, I got tased that one time. Someone threw a coffee mug at me that one time and ended up being a murderer. My ghost girlfriend tried to come back and kill my assistant's... Yeah, just my assistant. And then got killed by my assistant's mother, who had been missing for years. That was pretty awkward. Pretty outrageous. Phoenix Wright, was it? I'll answer what I can. Not sure, but feels like I'm being watched intensely. Alright, she is also adorable. She is competing with Trucy. on being adorable. Ah, this is my daughter, Vera. Say hello. And she's gone. She like holding a bear? She's gone. Shall we begin then? Judging from this place, you're a painter? Oh, wow, that's a really sad look. Not sadly, a profitable one. I never sold a painting. It was a source of considerable embarrassment. I would be able to get by were it only me. Your daughter. Her mother grew wary of me and left. Oh, that's sad. I don't want to grow up needy, mister, right? That is why I began my other occupation. Forgeries. Oh, now he's sweating. Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is I do. More than half of the paintings they bring to me are stolen. And who knows what my copies are used for. Some of your works aren't paintings, correct? You may not believe me when I tell you this, but that was my first work outside of painting. What? Welcome back, Sivia. To think it would be used as evidence in a murder trial. I never even imagined the possibility. Then why'd you take the job? I was well paid. Very well paid. I think he feels worse about this than I do. Past is hard to escape. Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. With apologies to you, of course. Sorry, but it's not going to be quite so easy. Trying to forget what he made. Looks like I'll have to remind him. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy. But that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. Also me. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And you have to tell me. I knew it wouldn't be difficult to escape this. Then let's talk. Well, I guess that was easy. That was pretty simple. Well then, ready to tell me about this work you did? It was unlike anything I'd attempted before. Guess it would be a little different from paintings. That is not what I meant. In all my previous work, it sufficed to create a copy. This wasn't a copy? The client gave me two things that day. The first was a sample page, as reference. Second, a printed document I could only surmise was written by my client. They used the real writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote. Yes, as I said, it was my first job of that nature. So, who was your client? As I said in court, I do not know. Really. Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester. I never met them. Not personally, Ah, Cyclock, of course. Seems like you're still hiding something. Something about this work. Alright. Wondering if you could tell me about this. I've not been in touch with the outside world for some time now. I'm sorry, but that isn't much of an inspiration to me. Oh, so now he's a sensitive artist. Okay. Magatama! Oh, it's a 3D image? That's pretty cool. You're hiding something. Let's hear it then. What is this music? You're hiding things from me, Mr. Masham. I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I never met the client. True, when I asked the client's name, there were no Cyclocks in sight. Regardless, you're hiding something. You have to be. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense. Why are you doing this to me? Did everything just shake for a second? Well, I've made my stand. No backing down now. Mr. Masham hiding. I mean, he is hiding the forger, but... this might be incorrect. Arrested on suspicion of poisoning your father, Drew Masham, currently on trial, age 12. I think they didn't think I would look at the evidence. This is not accurate. Oh, look. Still missing after a sudden disappearance. Like, he looks a lot better in his outfit. Which, I mean, it fits, I guess. Incarcerated in Central Penitentiary for the murder of Shady Smith. Huh. That's weird. Hey look, we get to see Apollo's picture. Green Horde defense attorney I happen to meet. I call him Apollo. Yeah, I guess it's like Phoenix looking in the past. Wait, what? Why does it say I call him Apollo? Of course you would call him Apollo, that's his name. Whatever. Yeah, maybe. But then again, Apollo's in here, so it wouldn't make sense. Anyways, what's the answer here? The sample or the forger? I think the forger. Because, you know. Ah, that's probably fair. I can pretty much piece together what it is from what you said. What is it then? You told me what you knew about the client, and I couldn't see any psych locks. Psycho locks? That's some sort of asylum security? Or a new hairstyle, perhaps? They did show up, didn't they? Like I was just casually talking about these things. As I said in court, I do not know. Really. It was such a suspicious request. I don't know much as I could about the requester. I never met them. Not personally, Not personally. Those words triggered the psych lock. Again with his psycho locks. Now I really must know what they are. So you didn't with me with the client, but someone else did. Oh, maybe the real forger behind this evidence? Perhaps I'm hung up on this lock business, but I'm afraid you've lost me. Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about psycho locks. As long as I come to the right conclusion, doesn't matter how I got there. Your conclusion is? The real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Masham. Puppy. I don't know what it is you're talking about. That's my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could it have been but me? That's the real question, isn't it? The forger wasn't you. Then I don't have many other people to choose from. The real forger Drew's studio is, as we know in the future, time travel. The real forger is your daughter, Vera Masham, isn't it? Ridiculous. My daughter is only 12 years old, Mr. Wright. I've always been one for landscapes, not surrealism. Nice comeback, but you're shaking in your boots. I've got you now. Only two people in the Access Studio are you and your daughter. The Cyclocks tell me you're not the forger, which makes your daughter the only possibility. Ahem. I feel very much on the urge of going Psycho-Lock myself. Well, his thing was, he didn't want Apollo to talk to anybody. Of course, we went against that pretty harshly. I don't know how you knew, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12 years old. A genius, you might call her. Precious little girl outshining her father. Been a lot of that going around recently. I let her play in the studio, and she watched me. She taught herself in that way. The drafting tools and analytical devices I brought when they become necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now. Do I detect a bit of fatherly pride? So Vera was the one who made this page. Would she know who the client was then? Actually, the client came once. Here, to the studio. What? Why did you say so sooner? But their face was covered, and they did not want to talk to me. So they talked to your daughter. I will speak only with the artist, the client told me. Girl might know something about it. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more, or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Mr. Masham, I have a request. Let me guess. You'd like to speak with my daughter, can I? My daughter has never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy, extremely so, actually. With only one exception, which was, oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I'd seen anything of the sort. Let me speak with her. Alright. Hi, how's it going? Uh-oh. This could be tough. There go Phoenix in the background. There, was it? Would you like to have a friendly chat? I'm Phoenix Wright, ex-lawyer, and I guess I'm a pianist. I'm still looking for the keys that say Do Re Mi, but I can't find them anywhere. I'm no good at this. I need something to get through to this girl. Vera, was it? Would you like to have a friendly chat? Oh, okay. Mr. Hat. The amazing Mr. Hat. What do you think about this? I think I just made her nervous. I need something to grab her attention. But what? Forgery, I would guess. But Mr. Hat seemed like a good thing to go for. Oh, I guess not. Photo? Maybe I don't have it yet. Okay. Hey kid, look, Mr. Hat. I'm not gonna show her the pistol. That would be really bad, I think. Alright, I guess I don't have the thing yet. So I can look over here, I guess. Hey, don't worry, pal. I'm sure I'll make an appearance sometime. Maybe I'll just sit alone over here for a closer look. That's an awfully small frame. What's that inside it? A stamp? Ah, please don't touch that. I'll get in trouble. That stamp belonged to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere she can see it. That's Sack and Valet, the Gramarys, isn't it? Grammar. That post office issued that commemorative stamp last year, when the Gramarys were at the height of their popularity. Of course, now they're convicted in murder. Now that one of them has been vanished off the face of the earth. Vera went to see one of their shows when she was quite small. You know, like 2 years ago. She's been a dedicated fan ever since. She watched them every time they came on TV, until the end. I see. That's quite hard to come by, I hear. I still wonder how she got her hands on it. Pretty bottle. It's a bottle? Ah, don't touch that, please. I'll get in trouble. It belongs to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere she can see it. She looks at it quite often. A light pink fluid inside. Nail polish, I'm guessing. What's this red envelope? Ah, don't touch that! That's, it's quite important. Painter's face just changed hues. Guess I'd better behave, though it's tempting to just grab it. But then that'll cause a time paradox. This is you and Vera? Ah, yes, we took that one quite recently. Yesterday, in fact. I know, I'm a painter. Why don't I paint a portrait instead? I've never been good at that, people. Unfortunately, I can relate. Shouldn't you practice? Volcano. Finished painting stacked here. Don't look all that bad, really. I'll sell you one for 50 cents. That's okay. They look kind of heavy. Oh. Maybe he needs to work on his sales technique a bit. This. Use these gizmos for painting? They're pretty elaborate. Ah, those. Those aren't for painting, they're for analyzing. Paint composition, age, every conceivable angle. Tools of forgery trade, I guess. That's neat. What is this painting? What's this painting here? Ah, that's one of mine. It's an illustration for a book. It's not on sale yet, of course, but I thought it might be a good business. As a father, I'd like to be able to put food on my daughter's table, instead of the other way around. I don't feel like I know anything about, at least not yet. And ironically, he will feel the opposite way as well. Ah, going home by any chance? No, I was just checking out the door. Oh. I think I'm far too stubborn to take hints like that. I also thought that was like towards like the dinner room or something, but whatever. Okay, so I can probably present this to her. And then there's this. My stamp. Hey, she spoke. She can talk. She can see. She can fight. Great magicians, aren't they? Isn't Troop Grammarly amazing? Yes? Oh, I especially like those two, Zack and Valent. I mean, they're, just so magical, except for Valent. Aren't they? Aren't they? Oh, that's adorable. Look at those wide eyes. Yeah, whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa, whoa, magic, you know? Me too, me too. I love them. They're so cool. It's like magic, yeah. Alright, she's talking, not saying much, but it's a start. I went and saw them with Father the other day. Opening ceremony of the Gramarye Museum of Magic. Gramarye Museum? They have one of those? Because it makes sense now that they have their own more commemorative stamp. So, have you been to one of those shows? Just once, when I was little, with Father. Gramarye's on stage, it was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together, they do it all. Yeah, maybe you keep telling me stuff like this. You know, about Zack and Valent, maybe? Oh, sure. Better get asking before she changes her mind. She is adorable. She like hugging a bear. Oh no, it's a sketchbook. I just noticed the little things on the top. Also, I have a pee. Oh, Kieran is live. Or not? Oh, he's playing Gundam. I hope he's feeling better, by the way. I know he was sick today, according to what they said on TFS. Anyways, I don't go outside much. I like to paint in here. Why don't you like to go out? Why don't you like the outside? Yeah, I was worried that I got a text from someone or something, but there's bad people out there. Well, true, but there's lots of good people too. Actually, I should tell you, she was almost kidnapped once. You related to Maya? Kidnapped? Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. Wait, well, that doesn't make sense. She said she went to the Gramarye Museum. With you, in fact. Ah, yes. Actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me. That person gave me a good luck charm. A good luck charm? When I absolutely had to go outside. Yes, apparently she received something... a gift. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it was. Father, I told you to keep that a secret. The client, huh? This I have to hear about. So your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things. I really like painting a lot. Father's always very happy when I paint the exact same. So you did this too? Oh yes, that was my first job. Your first? All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. Pin slips and the way the writer held the pen, the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope to analyze it all on the computer. Seems happy, and also very smart. Odd, her work is the last nail in the Gramarye coffin. Guess no one told her. Oh, that's sad. You're the best in the world. Oh, you mean Troop Gramarye? Whoa. Father gave it to me. Father? But I asked him about it. He didn't know how you got it. I guess I just took it. Yeah. Took it? Father got a letter. From that person. That person? You mean that letter was from a client? Oh, we talked about the Gramaryes forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent that stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it. They're a sneaky one, this client. So they were trying to get it on her good side. And then tried to poison her. You met the person that asked you to do this job. And you talked with them? What's this about a good luck charm you received? I can't talk about it. If I do, I won't work anymore. That's what I was told. Yeah, but I really, really have to know. Right. Time to do some psych unlocking. Well... based on what we know in the future, and the fact that it's right there on the screen, I'm guessing it's nail polish. So... do I have the evidence to support that, though? Well, let's see. That's true. Quite a lot, in fact. Because they gave you this stamp. No, that's not why. They listened to me, to my problem. A problem that keeps her inside all the time? Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But when I absolutely have to go out, all I had to do was use a good luck charm. Her good luck charm's poison, isn't it? If it's the fingernail polish, then she bit it off and got poisoned. Ah, this is bad. I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm? Okay, I don't have it, so... I don't have enough evidence right now to pull this off. Can I grab the thing? Now that she's talked, we can probably examine stuff more. Pretty bottle. Ah, don't touch that, please. I'll get in trouble. Belongs to Vera, you see. Couldn't grab it. Maybe I need to go solve another case real quick. I'd probably have enough for this one. Because I have Mr. Hat. Disappearing trick. Okay, Mr. Meekins, what do you know? Spit it out. Hey, who, what's the atmosphere here all of a sudden, sir? You know something, I'm gonna find it out what. Zack Grammar vanished from this room, how'd he do it? How, sir? Well, I can't say, sir. Why are you so nervous if you are hiding something? Well, sir, you see, at the time, sir, I was here and, listen, it was impossible, sir. What could such a little girl possibly do anyway? What did you just say? Sir, did I just say something, sir? No, you screamed through that megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there? I'm gonna have to invoke my right to remain in a state of not talking, sir. It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who Zack's accomplice was. I know who was here in that room that day. Trucy Enigmar. Ow, jeez. I've never seen that girl until just the other day. Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it. Sounds like a chicken screaming. Sir, that day, she was here, in the room, sir. But he wasn't. You mean, you chased her in this room, not him? Sir, my days of police officer, literally days, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing. But it was how to not mistake a girl for a 7-foot-tall magician. 7 feet. Zack isn't that tall, is he? Alright, see you, Snosuke. Good luck with the closing up the shop. You have a point. I find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zack Grammar. But you saw something. And therein lies the trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Does this trick look familiar? Mr. Hatch? What's that? The girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She uses it in her show down at Wonder Bar. How do I know that part? Have you been to the Wonder Bar? So, it wasn't a walking dream, was it, sir? Coming in. That night, on the stage, I saw a vision. Except, it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. An amazing Mr. Hat. He really exists. Okay. I remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zack Grammar exited the courtroom. I gave chase and cornered him in the corner room, sir. Zack Grammar, don't even think you can escape Meekins. Down your hands, floor on your head. Hello? Something the matter, mister? No, that is, sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Zack Grammar, do you know him? Oh, I love Zack Grammar. His magic is the best. I'm his biggest fan. I see. That's why you're wearing his costume that you're wearing. Anyway, that very same Zack came into this room. But no one's been in here except me. But he has to be in here somewhere. Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting, under the rug. There's no rug in here. So, Trucy was his accomplice. Imagine my astonished surprise when, 1 week later, I just happened to walk into the bar and see him, Mr. Hat. I couldn't believe my eyes. For a while, I thought it had been a long dream. Dream that lasted a week? But it wasn't the magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat. Though it seems complex, what really happened that day was quite simple. He went into lobby 1, I bet. Now came Zack. But that wasn't all. Another person got in on the act, and she was standing in front of lobby number 2. The tiny silk hat, along with Mr. Hat. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? So, while you're standing in the shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner, and most likely runs through the closest door into lobby number 1. This is where you come in. Turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuit, and that very moment, Trucy runs into lobby number 2 with Mr. Hat. All she has to do is tuck away the amazing Mr. Hat and Viola. Sir, I only lost sight of him for the briefest of moments. Then I saw that cape, Zack Grammy's red cape, fluttering like a cape. It's actually more pink than red, but astounding, sir. All my days of posing queries and making inquiries, chasing queries, wasted. It was as if I could see them melting away, like an ice cream cone left by the side of the road to die, or a scattered remains of a messily eaten chocolate parfait. Such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry, I had no idea how much you'd suffer on account of this case. It's an honor, sir. I've apologized to the people many, many times, sometimes more than once. But this is the first time anyone's apologized to me, actually, about that girl. Sort of her guardian now. Is that so? Sir, you should know that I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbor. Okay. I let the defendant escape, that's a stone cold truth. There's another step in my way from singing the blues and wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with the great Detective Gumshoe. Okay. Didn't know he was great. I mean, I knew he was great, but not in the eyes of the other police. This is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar, if you want. It's an honor, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I had taken from me, sir. But no one's ever given anything for me for free. Right, I'll see you in the court next time then, sir. I look forward to it. There goes Mr. Meekins. All eyes were on Zack Grammy that day in court, until his mysterious disappearance. Now part of the mystery's been revealed, but the magician remained out of sight. He's 7 years before I met him again. Apparently. Ding! Oh, I guess we're going to the future then. At the Borscht Bowl Club. Borscht Bowl Club. Why, hello there. I'll be taking my leave now. Still have some work to do back at the office. I guess I go back to my piano. To be honest, it's better when you aren't playing. This friggin' culinary dungeon almost feels comfortable. Later, then. 2 hours left on my shift. Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight. Ahem. Do you know who I am? Yes. Who I am? No. But if you can hum it, I can play it. Just kidding. I don't do requests. How about a different sort of request? You see, I play cards. Oh, a customer. I was just hoping someone would come in and save me from the Night of the Keys. I seek true competition. I have heard the Borscht Bowl Club is the place for this. Now I see the rumor is true. And this is a friend of you? I did not expect him to show up. Ah, don't mind me. I'm just your friend and neighborhood newsman. Ah, he will not be playing tonight. When his business is finished, I shall send him home. Competition will be between us, no others. Right. My talent agency represents 2 artists. I'm number 2. I play piano. Well, sort of. It's actually just a front for my real talent, which is playing poker. Don't ask me how I got started. I don't remember. But I'm good. Real good. Didn't take long for the rumors to get around. Go to the Borscht Bowl Club if you want a real game. That guy's never lost. People don't come to hear me tickle the ivory. They come to watch me play cards. Is this a seedy poker club? No, it's a restaurant. We don't play for high stakes, there's no money involved. But real players carry cash, and they're always thirsty. It's a handy source of income for the club owner. Then let's compete. I'll take you to the next room. The hideout, yes, but before we go, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shady Smith. Oh, and I'm Brushel, Spark Brushel, news reporter. Don't mind me, though. Oh, No. Phoenix Wright. Huh? You must not always look a man in the eye when you make... You must always look a man in the eye when you make introductions. And read the lines properly. You still do not know who I am? Have we met? Yeah, I had the feeling this was the case. I saw him in the court record for the most part. I had a feeling I had seen his face before. But when I saw the name Shady Smith again, I was like, wasn't that guy's name Shady as well? What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. Boof. The defendants escape. Find him, quick. Why am I back in the past again? Why are we flashing back to this thing once more? Hands on the hips, nice. You can't be, but you're... Zach Gramarye? Yes, the reincarnation of the ace of the century. Pity I've only an audience of one. You. Zach Gramarye. This must be a bad dream. Yeah, they are not subtle. I just didn't really put two and two completely together, because it's been a while since we actually saw Shady Smith. In a sense, this guy ruined my life. You there. Da. We will play soon. Ready the room. Da, I will be preparing hideout for you. Are you really him? Is that Gramarye? Now I am Shady Smith. Remember this. How many years has it been now? 6? Look, I got a beanie now. In exactly 3 days from now, it will be 7. I've caused you much inconvenience, I fear. Yeah, you could say that. Is she well? Trucy, I mean. She's fine. I've got her working already. Hope you don't mind. I hardly need to express my gratitude, but you have it. This is why I have come. That and to settle a matter of cards. I wish you mean poker, those eyes. He's serious. I despise losing above all else, and so I have decided that I will win tonight, no matter what it takes. I know this guy's type. They're dangerous. Everything's about competition. All else is secondary. Perhaps we should take the time to talk before we play. I know you have much to ask me. And I, you. You competed that day 7 years ago, too. Ah, yes. You must have been surprised. Called to the detention center out of the blue. One. Showdown time. Why are you flashing back to this? I lost. It's only a game of poker. Game I played for a long time. And only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Magnifi, I'm assuming. You choose your defense attorneys by playing poker. Some are hired, others fired. When you compete, you see a man's true nature. You know what I speak of. I know that you do. Trucy's power. Trucy, she is a class of her own. 7 years I've played poker here at the Borch Bowl Club, and I've never lost once. I'm good, but not that good. I win because whenever there's a big game, I bring in Trucy. Hi, how's it going? And she sends me signals. Daddy, he's got a good hand. You might have a chance if you act quick. Better now than never. Tell me what her power is. Judging from a person's thoughts by reading the reactions is a staple of performance magic. Those of Trucy's line possess far greater skill. Her line? Recall you were the second man to whom I've lost. Magnifi Gramarye. That was the first time I learned of this power, as you call it. Wait, so you're saying her power is genetic? It's just in the Gramarye blood or something? Blood. I'm sorry, but it is not something told lightly to outsiders. Nothing you need to know about at this time. Some kind of Gramarye secret then, fine. So that means her mother was Magnifi's daughter. Which means the thing that he held over them was most likely her disappearance, if I had to guess. She's 15 this year. She's still trying her best to follow in your footsteps, you know? I see. When I planned my disappearing act, it was the thought of her alone that gave me pause. Wait, you were planning on vanishing from the get-go? Yes, and for that I must apologize. However, I could not be found guilty that day. Because of this. A transferal of rights. You see the signature. That's Magnifique Gramarye's signature, isn't it? Ah, so this was the real page that was pulled out. Interesting. Hereby give all rights to secret staging and performance of my magic, the recipient name below. And the recipient's name is you, Zach Gramarye. Yes, it is I. Wait, this page looks torn. You recall the diary, yes? Take a little close look at this diary. Just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Recipient, who cares? How could I forget? That scrap of paper lost me my attorney's badge. This is the real page that was torn from the book. Magnifique gave it to me that night. You could have told me this earlier. Like 7 years earlier. Once again, I must apologize. It was all I could do to prepare for my escape from that courtroom. Gray's Magnifique Gramarye's illusions are true art. As such, they are well protected by this document. Only its bearer may perform his illusions on stage. Sounds like a pretty important thing to have if you're his disciple. And the rightful heir to his art too. I want to be the rightful heir. Rightful. I'm sure you know who I chose as my successor. Your daughter. That is why I've risked all to come here tonight. Brushel. Yes, sir. Here you go, sir. What's this? Letter passing the rights I have inherited to Trucy. I would have you sign here as a witness. But, I'm not a lawyer anymore. You need a public notary. Besides. I may not look it, but I'm a certified notary. I don't know what you look like. You are? And, by day I wear notary's glasses and hunt for the news. By night I wear reporter's glasses and notarize. Wait, what? When I take off the glasses, I can't see very well. Your signature, please. This is the first reason I have come here tonight. Okay. I finally figured it out. Now I know why you've come to this out of hiding only now. It's been 7 years, you said? Precisely. There's a law that covers your situation. After 7 years, missing persons are considered to be legally deceased. So if someone were to vanish from the face of the earth 7 years ago, they would lose all rights as a living person after 7 years from that day. Not to mention all of their possessions. Exactly, which is why I'm here. I risk showing my face to the public for the sake of this document, before my 7 years are up. You might say I am securing my daughter's inheritance. Do you really need this document? Also, doesn't that mean Brushel knows this guy is pretending to be dead? I feel like that would be a scoop, but whatever. Wouldn't Trucy inherit your estate automatically? Not in this case, I'm afraid. This case? Yes, I received the performance rights from Magnifique Gramarye. However, this is done in secret, without witnesses. Before Magnifique died, 2 potential successors to his repertoire were named. Myself, Zach Gramarye, and Valiant Gramarye. Not Trucy. I see, so you do need this document. I have known Brushel since before I met. Okay, that makes sense. I did not expect them to be like friends or anything, but okay. I have known Brushel since before I vanished. He is a man I trust. Not only 3 know of my rebirth. Took the liberty of looking at Trucy's background and found you had no other close kin. It is as you say. Okay. I was kind of hoping he'd say something about the mother at this point. I know everyone else, but Trucy's mother. Mystery. Gramarye secret. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's, like she can see right into people's minds. First time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. Yet I for myself have no such power. But Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother? Thalassa Gramarye? I will not speak of that! Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. I don't actually know what to present here. I guess just the locket would be the smart thing. Or maybe we needed to go back and talk to... what's his name? Valiant or whatever, in the past. Gotta do some time travel nonsense. Because I don't know if I have the thing just yet. Do I? I know why you don't want to talk about her, because she reminds you of the amazing Mr. Hat. At the same time, I don't know why they would give me this if I couldn't do it. I know, it's not technically time travel. It's just data manipulation. If I have to present this in the past, then it's time travel. And that's weird. But I don't know. Go. I'm gonna have right now to pull this off. Maybe it's time to do a little more legwork. It does happen? I don't believe it. But regardless, guys, we are a little bit over what I intended, and it's about 3 hours. So I believe this will be where we stop for now. I could see him presenting, as long as I just have to present it as like, oh, you're waiting for the transfer of rights or something, like you can't use these yet, then it might be acceptable, because it's just him mentioning it. As long as he doesn't actually present the evidence, then it'll be fine. But regardless, I believe this will be where we stop for now tonight. It's 1. So, and you know, this seems like a good halfway point for this little section. So, thanks a lot for joining me, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't butcher too many words. I don't know if I've been saying Grammary correctly. But, you know, the thought that counts, probably. And the best part was that I made a reappearance, pal. A surprising reappearance. Oh, that's also a good part. You should I'm probably gonna add Phoenix Wright to that to give some context. Cause, I mean, I don't want to make it seem like I said that or something. That way we at least know what character it is. But anyways, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Friday? TFS says they have some kind of big thing to happening tomorrow, you know, to date this episode, if you ever watch the YouTube stuff, I guess. But, so I'll probably be trying to watch that, but we'll probably have another early stream tomorrow. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe we'll finish that picture or something. Or not, I don't know. Maybe we'll just do a run. Dating this episode for the billions of people. Need to play the darn game. What darn game? You mean December 15th, 2017 at 1 a.m.? Actually, 1:10 a.m. Thank you. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Let's completely date this episode. Located in Magic Land. But anyways, guys. I'll see you probably tomorrow. Oh, FF7. Yeah, it's a good game, I think. But I'm not sure it's going to be actually premiering tomorrow. We'll see, though. But anyways, once again, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And, you know, hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this nonsense. Data trial.